They picked off Drew Brees 3 times and had an interception and 5 sacks on Aaron Rodgers. Next up, Patrick Mahomes, who has 5 total touchdowns with no interceptions in his last 2 games. So, Acho, do you expect the Bucs defense to slow down Patrick Mahomes?
At times, yes, they will. At times, yes, they can. In totality, not at all.
Wow.
Right, like the Bucs defense, I'm going to give them their respect. I think they're the number 6 total defense in the NFL, at least 6 in scoring defense. They're top 10, that's without a doubt. So at times, they're going to do their thing, Sel. But the problem is, it's not about what you do at times. It's about what you do in totality. 14 drives Patrick Mahomes has played in the playoffs. 14 drives. 11 of them he has scored on. One time they kicked a field goal. One time he took a knee. The other time they had to punt the ball. Why did they punt the ball? Tyreek Hill dropped a pass. So nobody stopped the Chiefs except themselves. Nobody stopped the Chiefs except already winning the game, so taking a knee, and you see the drop right there. Otherwise, that's another score on another possession. 14 possessions, 11 scores. So it's not that I don't believe in the Bucs defense, because I do. I believe in Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. When my brother was there, I know that defense closely. However, you can't stop this team. You can only hope to contain them.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
That's it? This is one of those, I walk on the field, I have on the Chiefs uniform, it says Mahomes on the back. Points. It doesn't work that way. You just told me.
What I tell you?
You just told me that in 14 drives, and as you know how you like to talk, you repeat it. In 14 drives, the Chiefs scored in 11 of them,
11 of them, sir.
How many against the Bucs in those 14 drives? To our question right now, yeah, I expect the Bucs defense to slow these boys down. One, they ain't faced this defense in the postseason. It's a different defense, even though it was great all year. Let me hone in on why I think they could slow them down. We know about Patrick Mahomes and his greatness.
We absolutely do.
This job sometimes, man, somebody tunes in just a little bit too late, thinks you're taking shots. No shots at Patrick Mahomes. No shots. However, he's going to take some shots. Let's talk about the Buccaneers defense that led the NFL in quarterback pressures and takeaways this season. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes, who struggled in his 3 worst games this season by passer rating. Patrick Mahomes was pressured by those defenses. Let's talk about him getting pressured 16 times in the game against the Chargers, and that was an overtime game. Barely they won. Let's talk about the Raiders game when they got him 17 times in that game. They lost that game. Patrick Mahomes, 51% in completion percentage, 83 passer rating. All I'm saying is there is a formula to slow down this Chiefs offense, and it just so happens to fit right in perfectly with the piece of the Bucs defense. They get after you up front. Have you been looking at the offensive line of the Chiefs over the season? The injuries, right?
Schwartz starts hurt now. Eric Fisher hurt. People hurt.
I love you.
People hurt.
We walked into that Green Bay game, and they had injuries up front as well. How many sacks? How did that look? Saints game, Packers game, 2 top 5 scoring offenses, both held under 27 points. And the Bucs had to go on the road to do this against top 5 offenses. Once again, they see another one, but this time they're playing at home. I'm just saying, there is a Tetris. There is a building block. These pieces fit together. Mahomes, you're tremendous. You're great, except when you get pressured. You have issues up front. That means you're susceptible to being pressured. That's why the Bucs defense will slow them down.
I like that take.
You like that take?
That take's nailed. That take's nailed. So let's put this whole situation in its proper context.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is not Taylor Heineke. Let's put this situation in its proper context. Patrick Mahomes is not a declining, aging, decrepit Drew Brees.
Wow, that's shots.
It's not shots. It's not shots.
That's not shots?
Shut us. Let's put this situation in its proper context. The Green Bay Packers were a 4th and 8 from either winning that game or putting up 30, even if they lose. Packers still put up 26.
Ain't enough. Ain't enough.
You say, are the Bucs going to stop the Chiefs? I don't know. I'm sure there are some formulas to cure some of the terminal diseases that currently exist in our society.
Here you go.
We just haven't figured them out yet. So I'm not saying there's not a formula to stop the Chiefs. I'm just saying whatever the formula is, the scientists of the Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Carlton Davis, they just haven't figured it out yet. So that is the problem that you're making. Marcel, let me give it to you like this.
Please give
Patrick Mahomes, since 2019, he's been trailing by double digits in 9 games. He's won 8 of them.
Okay.
So even if you got the Chiefs stopped, you ain't really got them boys stopped. So, I don't know how, because in America, and right now, I live Beverly Hills adjacent. I don't live in Beverly Hills.
Why you bring up Beverly Hills? Adjacent. You also live hood adjacent, if you want to bring up areas you don't live in.
I live Beverly Hills. I live in a nice place.
You live in Beverly Hills post office.
I live in a nice place.
You one of them dudes that, hey, what's your address? And it's some place, a building with 1,000 other people.
I give him a P.O. box. You ain't gonna know where I stay.
I know.
Look, the point is, I live somewhere nice.
Fake.
But, Sel, I done told you, your boy go to Nigeria every summer, right? When I go to Nigeria, I be in the villages in Nigeria.
It ain't nice over there?
No, not in the villages.
All of it?
The villages. Lagos is nice now, but the villages, they a little different. See, the cockroaches in Nigeria, Sel, they're a little different than them roaches that you see in America. Even roaches
New Orleans?
Look. Why? Because you think you got them joints killed.
What they do?
But you don't.
They got homies?
They can still be doing this.
So silly.
And the thing is, like, think about this. That's my take. Because the Texans, 24-0, they would have thought they had the Chiefs offense killed, right?
Can't talk.
Tennessee Titans, 17-7. They would have thought they had the Chiefs offense killed, right? San Francisco 49ers, 20-10. I believe it was 20-10. And maybe the late third, early fourth. You would have thought you had the Chiefs killed, right? But the Chiefs like them Nigerian roaches. They don't die. So the Bucks, they might stop them for a moment.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop them forever.
You know what? You lost me there, even though I wanted to be found.
You know about the roaches?
Not anymore. But certainly not Nigerian roaches.
Money. That's the problem.
What are you doing, a 23andMe on roaches in America? Like, I don't know where they from, but how you going to go there? Here's the thing. This is where you lost me. I'm stupid. I know. I've seen the Bucks defense. I've seen the Chiefs offense. I've not seen Nigerian roaches, so I'm sorry. Go wherever you want to go with that and then come back to America with our little roaches. Let's be real about this.
Let's be real, please.
This is simply about a defense that's going to attack, that's going to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Let's talk about the defenders. Let's talk about Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul.
Cold.
Cold. How about over the last 2 seasons, including the playoffs, nobody's been colder than them in terms of getting sacks on the quarterback. No one has more sacks as a duo than those two. You want to talk about who's going to play cold or at least colder? Patrick Mahomes. How did Patrick Mahomes play in the Super Bowl last year? You remember? 78 passer rating. You remember? No more touchdowns than interceptions. You remember? That was a #2 defense in San Francisco. Do you remember? He was outplayed for 3 quarters by the opposing quarterback. Trade block Jimmy G. Okay, now let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. He's matured, he's evolved, he's grown, he's better equipped for this moment this year. But here's the problem. Let's talk about this year and his career as a starter, including the playoffs. In the wins, 9 pressures a game, under 10. In the losses, 14. I just gave you numbers about the sack duo in Tampa Bay. I also gave you numbers on the pressures, #1 in the NFL. Takeaways, #1 in the NFL. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes again. Sacks per game, 1.5. 2.5 when he loses. You think let's go to Vegas. You think that the Bucks going to get over under 2.5 sacks? Yeah, I thought so. Over. All right, turnovers per game, only half in his career when he wins. Over 1 when he loses. You think the Bucks are going to force 1 turnover or 2 or 3? I think they are. He had 2 in the game last year in the Super Bowl against comparable defense, if not worse defense, because they didn't have the sack monsters up front in duo and duo. Name another.
I was about to say.
Boy, I know Bosa. Don't you do that to Bosa. I said Bosa and.
What about Bosa? What about Ford? What about Buckner?
Yeah, add them all up and get this. #1 in the last 2 years, this duo right here. Point being, I love Patrick Mahomes. I love this defense. But being on a former #1 overall defense, you said it in your first lap. There are going to be moments. But those moments can lead to tragedy because the same way you see a Bucs defense get to the quarterback, they can cause that turnover. That could be that 14-point swing that can give them this ball game.
I mean, Shaq Barrett and JPP were there in the first matchup, and I saw how that turned out. But I digress. Because I take issue with what you said, Marcellus. You're too smart to not know the difference between singular and plural.
What, roach and roaches?
Yeah, exactly. But lose and loses. Because you said in Patrick Mahomes' losses, you said
career.
Dude lost 1 game this season.
Okay.
And his loss.